Your Excellency, the Junior President, Pius, okay. Pius Landile Nlea. The Speaker of the Junior Parliament, Honorable Sitabile Ntingo, the First Lady, Amai Oxila Mnangagwa, the Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable General Retired Dr. C. Gideon Chiwenga, Vice President, Honorable Colonel Retired KCD Mohadi in absentia, the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Advocate Jeff N. Mudenda in absentia also, the President of the Senate, Honorable Amai M. Chinomona, the Minister of Defense and Chairman of ZANU-PF, Honorable OCZ Mchinguri Kashiri, the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs, Harare Metropolitan Province, Honorable Charles Tabengwa, the Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, Honorable T. Machakaire, other ministers and deputy ministers who are here. Chief Secretary to the President Cabinet, Dr. Martin Lushoya, Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Vincent Ungwe, senior government officials who are here, members of the Junior Parliament, other distinguished guests who are among us here, comrades and friends. Madam Speaker, it is a great honor and privilege to once again address these commemorations of the Day of the African Child and to officially open the 32nd Junior Parliament. I thank you, Madam, for warmly welcoming me. Further, I congratulate you all for winning the highly contested elections. In your constituencies, I believe no one rigged. I particularly commend and congratulate you, the Child President, Your Excellency, Pius Leah, for your success in the presidential elections. It's not easy. Makorokoto and Flop. May you all have an exciting, successful term of office. Madam Speaker, the last 32 years since the establishment of the Junior Parliament have seen this institution becoming strategic among the youth of our motherland, Zimbabwe. The Junior Parliament has not only served as a leadership development and advocacy arm, but also a vehicle through which representatives of the youth from all provinces can participate in the governance of our great country, Zimbabwe. Under the Second Republic, we say, Nyika inovakwa, inotongwa, inonamatirwa, nevayo. As such, we believe that you, our young people, have a role to play in building our motherland by bringing to our attention the challenges faced by the children of Zimbabwe. Hence, convening of the junior parliament must, therefore, not be taken lightly. You have made history by meeting for the first time here at the new Parliament building. Which will also be hosting in August the SADC summit here, this chamber. It is also critically important that you use this opportunity to learn about the policies and developmental projects that are happening in our country. Additionally, the experiences you gain from here should enhance your patriotism, your skills, your humility and sensitivity to a wide range of issues as you learn the principles of servant leadership. Madam, this will help you to better understand and explain various issues to your peers. The government is committed to developing you, our young people, into productive citizens and responsible leaders of tomorrow. I commend the Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training, as well as other stakeholders, for continuously enhancing this program. It is worth noting that this year's 32nd session of the Junior Parliament has been expanded to include a Junior Senate, which is made up of former child parliamentarians. This has enriched the quality and the scope of debates within the august House. Well done, our young people. Madam Speaker, the manner in which the junior members of Parliament have presented the various issues is commendable. As per the responses given, I want to assure you that my government will give due attention to the concerns and ideas raised during this session. As you all grow as leaders, I urge you to always remain yourselves as Zimbabweans. You and us all in this country are descendants of the great emperor, Mnangagwa. Do not be swayed from our rich heritage, our moral values, our norms, our culture, and our identity as Zimbabweans. The Second Republic will continue to ensure that our children, yourselves, and young people are empowered with the right skills for the future world, especially ICT and scientific knowledge. We want you to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with your peers from across the entire world. Madam Speaker, the Day of the African Child is a day that the continent of Africa has set aside to remember the 3-day Soweto massacre, which took place from the 16th to the 18th of June 1976 in South Africa. On that day, hundreds of unarmed school children were massacred while holding a peaceful protest against the oppressive apartheid system in South Africa. This sought to use education and other oppressive practices to suppress the freedom and independence of the black majority of that country. Our African philosophy of Ubuntu, Unu, underscores that I am because we are. Therefore, the young people of Africa should remain inspired by this rich philosophy. In that same spirit, many young people across our southern African region took up arms to fight protracted liberation wars for independence, for freedom, and sovereignty. Through such acts of bravery, they stood for the freedom, dignity, and the well-being of the black majority. When we were young, when we were age, we left our homes, our parents, and the school to go into the bush to train and fight for this independence we are enjoying today. Not all of us who began that war are here today. The majority are gone. We leave behind freedom, democracy, and dignity to you. We belong to a region with a rich liberation heritage and a vast natural resources. Take pride in this history, which you should never forget as the young people of Africa, and Southern Africa in particular. The rights you enjoy today, the dignity we have as a black people, the quality of life you are experiencing, and this opportunity to be involved as the junior parliament in the governance of our country in this majestic building did not come on a silver platter. People died for this, for us to be here today. I call upon you to always honor and respect the youth of yesteryear. We were once like you, and tomorrow you'll be like us. Remain proud of being a Zimbabwean, an African child, and an African youth. It is pleasing that you have read the documented uprisings and massacres that took place throughout the country and across other borders. These include Pupu, Kamungoma, Chindunduma, Chimoyo, Nyazonia, among others. Those events were not a wedding. At these sacred places, many of our people, including women and children, were killed, tortured, and injured. That is our painful past, a past you must never, never, ever forget. I'm proud that you have learned from us, the older generation, and committed yourselves to making the voices of children and young people be heard. Well done, our young children. Madam Speaker, this year's theme, Education for All Children in Africa, the time is now, speaks to the memories of that fateful day of the Soweto uprisings. While we are proud of the milestones achieved so far in our education sector, government is still scaling up the implementation of very good education policies and projects for the benefit of learners at every level. Education, science, and innovation, as well as vocational training and skills development, are indeed major tools for sustainable development. Your access, young people, your access to quality, inclusive, and equitable education is important for the attainment of our National Vision 2030, which we have set for ourselves as a country. The Second Republic continues to roll out a learning system based on digital and other ICT-related platforms. As a result, more children now have access to a wide range of educational material and information, including access to specialized teachers, that way guaranteeing improved pass rates. We want to leave behind a learned Zimbabwe. But a productive Zimbabwe. My administration is also implementing commitments made during the Transforming Education Summit held at the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly in 2022. The recent commissioning of the 17 schools funded by the OPEC Fund, along with the ongoing construction of many schools under the devolution and decentralization agenda, shows that my government values quality and relevant education for our children. Our education under the Second Republic is not designed to memorize Shakespeare, but to produce a service or a product. Meanwhile, in response to the El Nino-induced drought, the school feeding scheme has been rolled out to various schools throughout the country to ensure the nutritional well-being of children from vulnerable communities. The Heritage-Based Education Framework 2024 to 2030, which we adopted, is taking root and helping transform the education system. Now, our learners are equipped and able to produce goods and services for use in our communities and within the economy. The training and upskilling of teachers, especially in mathematics, science and technology, related fields is ongoing. Madam Speaker, the education transformation agenda also includes putting in place strong laws and regulations for inclusive education policies. Technical and vocational education is being strengthened to go hand in hand with the requirements of an education system of the 21st century. More than 2 million youths have the potential to be empowered with relevant skills through vocational training centers in the country. These can in turn help grow, modernize, and industrialize our economy. Many more young people must be given the opportunity to learn and acquire trades to improve their livelihoods. No one and no place must be left behind in Zimbabwe by the Second Republic. I therefore urge the Minister of Youth Empowerment, Development and Vocational Training to accelerate the transformation of vocational training centers in terms of both the quality of facilities and the skills offered. The National Youth Act must be speedily finalized to facilitate the promotion of youth empowerment, development, and critically, wealth creation. Wealth does not create itself. It must be created by us. As we move close towards the achievement of a prosperous and empowered upper middle income society, all the people of our motherland, Zimbabwe, including our young people, must be committed to hard and honest work. We must continue producing hard-working and innovative graduates with relevant skills, competencies, applied knowledge, as well as the right values and character, which are key to advance our national development goals. In another positive development that affects the youth, recently I was pleased to launch the youth service in Zimbabwe program at Nakiwa Vocational Training Center in Uzumba, Mashonaland East Province. I invite more young people to enroll for this program. This will instill discipline, patriotism, the ethic of hard, honest work, as well as the spirit of Ubuntu, while encouraging volunteerism and service to the community and nation. Nyika inovakwa, inotongwa, inonamatirwa, nebenevayo. Madam Speaker, it is heartbreaking that a notable number of our young people, together with their families, are being negatively affected by the menace of drug and substance abuse. At the government level, a national committee and a multi-sectoral drug and substance abuse plan is in place to coordinate our national response. Our Minister of Defense champions that. Honorable Mchunguri Kashiri, who is here. I challenge you, the young people, to raise your voices and scale up your activities to fight and reject drug and substance abuse. You must be in the forefront of developing youth-friendly activities, music and messages that help echo our calls for a drug-free Zimbabwe. I call upon the youth to report to adults and responsible authorities those who deal and peddle in drugs. Use your positions as young leaders and influencers at your schools, your universities, churches, and across communities to encourage morally upright living and behavioral transformation among your peers. As I conclude, I thank you, Madam Speaker. The Child President. Junior President of the Senate and the junior members of Parliament, for the fruitful deliberations, wide-ranging views, ideas, and experiences we have shared with us, your elders. I urge you to go back to your provinces and use the information gathered from the responses given by our government officials here for the good of your communities and the constituency of young people in our country. Your individual and collective energies as young people must be channeled towards community and national development. Remain exemplary and good ambassadors of servant leadership among your peers. With these remarks, it is now my honor and privilege to declare the 32nd session of the Junior Parliament officially open. Madam, I once again wish you success during your tenure in this critical office and a memorable commemorations of the Day of the African Child. This is a mark you shall not forget in your life. God bless you. God bless Zimbabwe.